Relax tonight with this mental vacation and sleep story that will take you to the mystical sights of Peru at sunrise as you board a train from Ollantaytambo and arrive in Aguascalientes, the site of Machu Picchu, one of the 7 wonders of the world. And on this journey to the city in the clouds, or lost city of the Incas, you may learn new things about yourself and reconnect with your inner voice and imagination. I would like to welcome you to Michelle's Sanctuary. My name is Michelle, and as you are listening, please think of my voice as a trusted guide, here to offer you a safe place for respite, preparing you before you drift across the bridge that links your waking and sleeping lives. As your ally in relaxation, you always have the freedom to choose your own adventure and drift to sleep, or let your mind wander off if that feels right. The most important aspect of our time together is that you are content, relaxed, and free of any judgment or unnecessary thoughts. And right now, you may rest heavily upon your bed, feeling the protective shelter that surrounds you and gives you the okay to let go. Your body is supported by your bed below, and you may wiggle like a small child getting excited before sleep. Perhaps you have deep memories of this feeling of getting cozy and cuddling in footed fleece pajamas, surrounded by stuffed animals and your favorite blanket. Allow yourself to conjure this feeling as you take a deep breath, letting it become a yawn before sighing it all out. And again, you take in the deepest breath of the day, and as you sigh it out, you visualize yourself exhaling in a misty air, surrounded by the silhouette of razor-sharp mountain peaks of the Andes that cut into the pre-dawn sky as the sun prepares to break through for the day. You look down to watch your hiking boots step upon the steps of the Ollantaytambo Sanctuary. This is one of many places in the Sacred Valley that captures the industrious nature of a civilization long gone. With a heavy bag on your shoulders, you sip your favorite hot beverage from a thermos as the white-hot sun begins to crest over the mountain peaks. The air smells of spring as the mist marries the rich soil of the valley and the local eucalyptus trees. Before the valley comes to life, you are of the first wave of travelers en route to Machu Picchu, where you have planned to hike and explore the sights in what has been a bucket list destination for a very long time. And you take in a deep breath and close your eyes, feeling the sun hit your face as it rises, and one thick ray of light at a time is revealed like a starburst of warmth. Even with your eyes closed, you feel as the sun has fully emerged. As you inhale one last time and feel grounded in the gratitude for making it this far. How easy it is on a majestic journey to get ahead of yourself with plans and anticipation. But on this spiritual escape, you have chosen to live in the now as much as possible. The Sacred Valley is a testimony to the magical natural wonders and industrious innovations of the Incas at a time when machinery and resources were scarce. And yet Incas were able to construct a fortress such as the Sun Temple, comprised of monolithic stones that rise above the cobblestone streets of Ollantaytambo, looking up to the terraces of green and the stone steps that carve out this fortress. It is a wonder alone to recognize the amount of energy it would take to climb to the highest peak, let alone to construct such an intricately designed fort. You begin your trek to the train station, walking along a modest street occupied by hotels and restaurants that cater to those on the Inca Trail, as some of these hikers are returning to the city in the sky, Cusco, strongly influenced by the Spanish conquistadors of the 15th century, while others like you are en route to the Inca's masterpiece, Machu Picchu. Up ahead, you see fellow backpackers marching in pairs or groups towards the same destination as you. The air is cool and clean, and unlike any experience you have had before, it is unique to the Sacred Valley, with a minerality off the rushing Urubamba River and the local fauna, and with a sensation that makes each breath so precious, as the elevation is just above 9,000 feet. The sound of the Urubamba River becomes louder, echoing through the valley and sounding as forceful as a waterfall. Divided into the upper Urubamba and lower Urubamba, the waterway serves as a guide for hikers on the Inca Trail to follow, but also carves through the mountains alongside the train tracks that lead to Aguas Calientes. The only way to reach Machu Picchu is by train or by foot, and this lends a timeless quality to your journey. You come upon the rail station and are greeted by a Peru Rail employee at a baggage check. With limited luggage allowed, you downsize from your large backpack to a smaller bag, bringing only the bare essentials. And as you receive a tag from the employee, who smiles kindly, you take a moment to mentally check all anxiety and thoughts that you may be carrying about the past or anticipation of the future, and let them stay in the same cubby as your luggage. They have no place on this journey to Machu Picchu. And as you leave the building to approach the train platform, you see the gleaming cobalt blue train with marigold stripes and font that reads Peru Rail. Buenos dias, you are greeted by a Peru Rail attendant as you board and reveal your ticket for the Vista Dome. All employees are dressed in similar cobalt blue attire that has a vintage feel and an air of classiness that makes you think of old-time movies when train travel was not only luxurious but also necessary. You find your seat, feeling the warmth of the sun overhead, as the Vista Dome has skylights that give panoramic views of the mountains and crystal blue sky and frosty white puffy clouds overhead. Feeling a bit sleepy, as other passengers speaking in different languages begin to board, you allow yourself to fall into a dreamy state. The voices of fellow passengers and spirited delivery of messages in Spanish from employees create an ambient sound with a musicality to it that causes you to relax in your seat. The Vista Dome service is provided by refurbished 1965 vintage German Ferrostall railcars, and it runs on diesel. And as the locomotive departs, it gives a sound of a different century and a sensation that once again transports you to a simpler time in history. The train begins to accelerate, and you welcome the gentle vibrations that rock you to and fro as you lean your head back and look up to the sky, seeing as a bird of prey soars overhead. A canopy of trees over the rails creates shadows within the car, and you look out your window to see the white caps of the Urubamba River that contrast the chocolate milk hues of the muddy waterway. On the other side of the river, you see a group of backpackers who have set out on the 4-day hike of the Inca Trail. And while you admire their spirit, you cannot help but enjoy the luxury of your current situation. As your eyelids fall heavily upon your eyes, and you find yourself flowing in a lucid dream. And while the smell of fresh coffee fills the air, and while the vibration and gentle jerks of the train are keeping you in the moment, your mind begins to wander into a dreamy haze. And you feel you are both in the moment and in this other restful place of bliss that upturns your lips in a gentle smile and relaxes all the muscles in your face. This sensation is the very reason that you came on this trip. Time seems to pass by quickly, and before you know it, the train is pulling in to the station at Aguas Calientes. you let all the other passengers disembark before you gather your bag and exit as well, saying goodbye to the rail employee. You step onto the gravel of the tracks, and already the energy has changed as you meet the morning rush of excitement from passengers returning to Cusco as they gleefully talk about their experiences in a more subdued enthusiasm than those who have just arrived, ready to make their trek to Machu Picchu. The smell of the Urubamba River is more pronounced, with an aroma of rich soil that carries on the breeze through the train station. Buildings are constructed close to the rail, and it gives an air of a pioneer town. As once you disembark, you find yourself in the middle of a marketplace or mercado. Peruvians are selling turquoise jewelry and knickknacks, as well as fresh fruits and snacks. 3-story buildings appear, painted in vibrant hues of royal blue and mustard and melon, as children run and laugh through the marketplace. The mountains continue to cut against the sky like in the Sacred Valley, and feel protective around the small, bustling village. You exit the Mercado Artesanal and walk across the footbridge that takes you to the bus to Machu Picchu. There is a queue of people and row of buses seamlessly filling up and leaving on a winding street that runs parallel to the river. And the river rushes down the incline of the terrain over large rocks and boulders, once again more like a series of waterfalls than merely a river. You look at the rustic buildings that line the road, once again finding a colorful array of 2- and 3-story dwellings in vibrant colors, selling maps and postcards and beverages for the hike. You take your ticket from your wallet and board a bus, handing it to the driver and listening again as the chatter of enthusiastic tourists from all over the world are seated, carrying their backpacks and wearing safari hats and hiking boots. The bus takes off, and within minutes you are winding up and around towards the entry to Machu Picchu. At times the bus is near the edge of a cliff, but there's a confidence in the driver that makes it seem it's as if he knows this road as well as he knows anything else in this life. You consciously breathe in and out, staying calm and in the moment, watching as stray dogs are racing the bus up the climb to the summit. In minutes, the bus pulls into a parking lot, and you and fellow passengers disembark. While the bustle of tourists feels a bit overwhelming, you know that your hike up Montaña Machu will be less populous as tickets are capped, and you hired a guide for the exclusive experience. At the entryway, there are a row of turnstiles and ticket booths, and you see a petite woman in a blue polo shirt and cargo pants holding a sign that reads your name. You approach her and she instantly recognizes you from a photo you sent to the agency where she works. Hola, I am Elena. Are you ready for your adventure? She asks, her eyes kind yet intense, and her smile warm and genuine. She leads you through the turnstile, and with her encouragement, you have your journal stamped with the official stamp of Machu Picchu that reveals the Andes Mountains and the sacred city. You know when you return home, there will be so much to write about for years and years to come. And this suddenly reminds you about what you love so much about travel. How your confidence soars when you realize that you can make these experiences happen and cross off items from your bucket list. Elena guides you up a path, and you see the iconic stone temples spread across the vibrant green grass of the Valley of Machu Picchu. The Inca citadel is illuminated by rays of sunlight, while other areas are cast in the shade of clouds that slither across the sky. While unfinished in 1450, the Incas died off, and the sacred treasure remained largely unknown until an American historian brought it to international attention in 1911. After Elena shares this information, she offers to take your photo, and you pose with your arms outstretched in pure glee and triumph, so proud to have finally made it to this height. The stillness in the air and security offered in between the Andes Mountains is unlike anything you have experienced before. One would think that mountains of this stature would be intimidating, but instead they lend a sense of calm and peace and a deeply spiritual energy. As you continue, you come upon a llama, carelessly grazing on grass, its fur in shades of caramel and white, as its ears stand in attention just like mountain peaks. The rows of Kelly green terraces that look like a cascade of grasses broken up by the walls of gray stones were designed specifically for agriculture, Elena explains. Elena leads you on a path with a hand-carved wooden sign that reads, Montaña Machu, and you smile. You are ready for the hike as you begin to ascend the path, feeling the strength in your legs and your lungs. You inhale the fresh air, following Elena's lead. As a guide, she has at times hiked this mountain more than once in a day, and you admire her tenacity and endurance. She explains to you that Machu Picchu was originally used as an estate for 2 Inca leaders for many decades, and at its most populous had 750 residents, consisting of religious specialists and servants. You think of what it must have been like to be one of the first explorers in the 20th century, as Elena explains they would dangerously trek across the raging Urubamba River and then find themselves in jungle overgrowth upon arrival. But now, the path is quite clear and easy to hike, before the occasional drops in inclination. The higher you climb, the more you find yourself sometimes on all fours as you navigate behind Elena. And up you go, occasionally meeting a fellow traveler or group of hikers. But for the most part, you hear only the birds in the trees and the gentle breeze that blows through the canyon. At the halfway mark, Elena brings you to a summit where you sit upon a dusty rock and enjoy a local snack and beverage that she has brought for you. She has a bag of coca leaves, green and dried out and wide. They are a common treatment among locals for the health benefits such as energy boosting and healing pain and helping those with altitude sickness. You take a leaf and try it, and not entirely sure if it is a placebo effect or real. You find yourself feeling an energy boost to hike the rest of the mountain. The rest of the hike renders you silent and still, going deep within yourself. Your thoughts are muted, and you find yourself consciously aware of every muscle that is activated in your body and every breath that you take. You feel as if swept up in the Urubamba Rapids, just letting go to the experience as you climb higher and higher up. And just when you think you can climb no further, your inner voice appears, as it often does in times of doubt, and tells you to keep climbing. You can do this. The trees begin to clear, and suddenly you find yourself at the top of the mountain. You have never felt this close to the sky before, except when in a plane. Elena brings you to the flat stones atop the montaña, where you find a place to sit and enjoy the view. It feels as if you could touch the clouds as you look out upon the verdant landscape. And then you realize at points you are actually inside the clouds as they float by. The Andes Mountains almost appear like a silver dark blue hue as they reach into the cornflower blue sky. And as you watch the clouds waft below you, you reach out your hand and feel the cool mist and taste it upon your lips. So close to the sun, you feel the ray's intensity as the constant carousel of silver-lined clouds encircle the sacred city in the clouds. If heaven were to exist, and if all the folklore of sleeping on a cloud came to life, you feel it would be here. How familiar this feels, as it enlivens all the dreams you had as a child of what it would be like to fly up in the sky. And you stretch your arms overhead and feel the freedom a bird feels and the luxury of having this vantage point. Time passes quickly, but you do not notice once again today as you sit in the same place, watching the clouds pass by and getting lost in the beauty of the Andes Mountains and the intoxicating feeling you get with each sip of fresh mountain air. The temperature is beginning to drop, and the sun is lowering in the sky when Elena taps your shoulder and takes you out of this trance state. She kindly tells you it is time to hike down the mountain. As if in a dream, you float down the mountain behind her. Your legs feel like jelly, but they remain strong and strident as you descend. And this serves as a reminder. Even the biggest of journeys and accomplishments begin one step at a time. And even before you take that step, they begin with an intention. And that intention begins with a dream. And this makes you come back to the present moment, aware of each step and not focused on how long it will take to climb down. This approach brings you back to the citadel quicker than you imagined. Now cast in the golden tangerine light of the setting sun. The grassy valley and the dark green tree-covered mountains look as if they are cast in bronze. Something about the way the light hits this beautiful landscape is more metallic and shimmery than any sunset you have witnessed prior. The iconic mountain that is more like a tall mound behind the stone buildings was named Young Peak. Elena ushers you towards the stone ruins of the citadel, and the soft sunlight of golden hour warms the gray stones and bursts through the doorless entryways and soft beams of tangerine light. The sun is beginning to set as the park is ready to close. Elena leads you back towards the entrance, and it feels as if you lived an entire lifetime in a single day of discovery. She brings you through the parking lot and towards your hotel, a luxurious treat you have afforded yourself for the night. As you approach the lavish and yet also simple entrance, a mist has taken over Machu Picchu, and the sky is now cast in the blue tones of twilight. Elena gives you a warm hug, and it feels as if she is a family member you've known for a long time. Your eyes meet as she departs, and you enter the lobby of the sanctuary lodge. It smells of fresh orchids and the air is also hinted by the cloud forest, you approach the check-in desk, and a gentleman offers you a kind welcome before handing you a key and resort brochure. You take this through the lobby and proceed to your room, appreciating the warm golden lights that illuminate the hotel. Windows are like walls of glass that run from floor to ceiling and allow you to look out and see stars appearing against the landscape of mountain peaks. You come to your room and enter, delighted to find a fruit basket awaiting and a handwritten note that welcomes you by name. You set down your bag on the table and feel the tiredness setting into your muscles. Your legs are like lead, feeling the subtle burn that is a pleasant reminder of all you have done today. You step into the bathroom, turning on the shower and removing your clothes. There is a fancy mirror set above the marble countertop, and you look to see your face has a layer of grime and sweat that is dried upon it. But you meet your eyes, and you see the sparkle within them, the aliveness that you feel inside is reflected out through your irises as your pupils expand and you connect with you again. The bathroom becomes steamy as you remove your clothes and step beneath the hot water. The pressure is strong, and each pelt of water is like an acupressure massage, getting deep into your tired muscles. A liquid soap dispenser mounted on the shower's wall contains a mint eucalyptus body wash that you rub over your skin, feeling the tingling sensation from the mint and inhaling the relaxing aroma of eucalyptus. You feel accomplished. You feel relaxed. And you feel very tired. You turn off the water and step onto the cool bathroom tile, grabbing a plush white towel that smells freshly laundered as you dry off your face and body carefully. Once dry, you remove a bathrobe from the hook with the hotel's name embroidered on it in gold. Putting it on, you cinch the belt around your waist. Suddenly feel as if you are starring in a movie, portraying a wealthy character who enjoys the finest in life. And yet you know the finest things in life are truly free, for no price is attached to a sunset or a hike up a mountain or the sound of a river flowing. You go to the bedroom and remove a piece of your favorite fruit from the welcome basket. It hydrates you instantly and you enjoy the sweetness upon your tongue before taking a second piece of fruit and enjoying it as well. You walk towards the balcony doors, looking out into the darkness and opening them to allow the cool mountain air to flow into your room. And on this air, it's as if you can hear the voices of the lost civilization carrying healing messages and the gratitude that their site is still enjoyed and visited, that nothing goes to waste. You walk towards the king-sized bed, turning off the lights as you go, before pulling back the heavy down comforter and crisp cotton sheets. You fall into the bed, allowing your head to relax in a cloud of pillows. The bed feeling like a cloud as well. And you know that dreams will take you to experiences of floating among the stars and clouds, high above the Andes Mountains. Your eyelids close atop your tired eyes, like books being shut for the night. And it is all you can do to stay awake. Your last thought before you drift away is how deeply thankful you are for life and for being able to experience the beauty of the world that has been enjoyed for hundreds of years by the many souls who came before you. And with that, you begin to let go, ready to cross the bridge to your dreaming life. And I am going to count you down to a deep, healing night's sleep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding bliss, finding escape, finding sleep. It's time to dream away. Good night.